evening and welcome to the 593rd episode of Travel Witch Radio. I'm Dan Schlossberg. Roger Noriega is not with us tonight, and we are in the 14th season of Travel Witch Radio, the show that lets you enjoy the pleasures of travel from the comfort of your armchair. Every week at this time, we talk to people representing destinations, hotels, airlines, railroads, car rental companies, and others in the world of travel and hospitality, from authors and bloggers to broadcasters and publicists. If it's got anything to do with travel, it's got everything to do with Travel Witch Radio. And our guest tonight is Erica Ashton, Executive Director of the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Erica, to Travel Witch.
Thank you so much, Dan. I'm honored to be here tonight.
It's hard to believe it's been 50 years since the movie Jaws scared the life out of swimmers on the coast of North America. But it's great to know that Martha's Vineyard, where it was filmed, will be celebrating all summer. Even filmmaker Steven Spielberg may be participating. You'll have to fill us in on that one. But please tell our viewers what to expect.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we're so excited. The whole island is really involved in making this a celebration to really honor, just like you said, honoring the 50 years of Jaws. And it's a movie that really has put Martha's Vineyard as the fictitious Amity Island on the map. So across the board, from a big picture standpoint, we're having exclusive screenings. We have behind the scenes storytelling from people who were on the island at the time of filming. We're also doing immersive shark experiences, and we really just have island-wide events. But the whole weekend of June 20th, which is the actual weekend the movie Summer Blockbuster came out, is going to be really filled with something for everyone.
Isn't there a free screening of the film Jaws 50th Anniversary, an authorized documentary that features behind-the-scenes stories from both the best-selling novel and the making of the blockbuster movie? June 20th, I think. Is that right?
We're really excited about it. Yeah, National Geographic and Amblin, in conjunction with the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce and Circuit Arts, which is on island, is presenting the Jaws 50th. It's called The Definitive Inside Story, and it is based on the best-selling novel and Steven Spielberg's blockbuster film. So those tickets will be available soon. You can check back on our website, which is mvy.com, for those tickets, but that will be about 700 to 750 tickets available.
You mentioned a couple of minutes ago, ribbon cuttings. You could have Bruce the Shark cut the ribbons, can't you?
That would be pretty awesome.
Okay, we hear there's an after party too at the Roxy Pool Bar and Great Lawn of the Harbor View Hotel. The screening is free, but not the after party. So shouldn't people get tickets now?
They absolutely should get tickets now. That is also available on mvy.com. There's a whole Jaws splash page that you can get all this information, but you can purchase those tickets. And what's really cool about it is that there's going to be Jaws inspired photo ops. There's going to be exclusive swag. There's going to be curated shark cocktails, and there's going to be a mesmerizing performance by these really cool synchronized swimmers. And they are called the Aqua Lilies. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check out the website because they're pretty cool.
I think your dog just spotted Bruce the Shark.
I think so. She's
I have a dog too, so I'm used to it.
Good.
Anyway, the very next day, June 21st, features an outdoor screening of Jaws in concert, featuring the movie score performed by the Cape Symphony, all at the Oceanside Resort. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, that's really going to be super spectacular. So it'll be the only screening of Jaws that weekend. It is going to be presented also with Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. They have a whole rolling roadshow for movie experiences all summer long. So we're teaming up with them, and we're bringing over the Cape Symphony, and they will be playing the original score to the movie on a huge stage, so everyone can really be transported back to Amity Island where it all began. We also have Discovery Shark Week giveaways and some other fun things to make that really spectacular.
That actually leads into my next question. I wanted to ask you about Discovery Shark Week and nostalgia from 1975. It includes everything from Shark Week footage to sea-themed cocktails and food. I can't imagine what that is. Maybe shrimp cocktail. That's seafood, right? That'll be
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to have some element of surprise, but there will be some never be seen before footage. They're going to bring in some really cool installations for photo ops. And they will be creating a cocktail. They'll be served in our VIP tent. So more to come on that, but we're super excited to have such a huge sponsor from Discovery Shark Week. Obviously, there's a lot of synergy between people who love Jaws and all things sharks.
From June 19th to 23rd, the whole area will celebrate Amity Homecoming Weekend, a 5-day festival to mark the 50th anniversary of Jaws. The lineup includes talks, events, special guests, behind-the-scenes insights into the making of the movie. So tell us, is Spielberg going to be there?
Unfortunately, Spielberg is not coming, but we do know that Justin Falvey, the number 2 at Amblin, will be on island for that weekend. Unfortunately, he is in post-production for a movie that he's working on. But there could be something last minute, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
We're jawing about Jaws 50 with Erica Ashton of Martha's Vineyard. Erica, the Martha's Vineyard Museum will take center stage from Memorial Day to Labor Day with Jaws at 50, a deeper dive, where artifacts, props, and photographs, original storyboards, oral histories, interactive elements will trace the evolution of Jaws from concept to finished product. Even a life-size replica of Brewster Shark's head will be on display. Is it true contributions of Martha's Vineyard residents will be a big part of it too?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been really trying to source as many local stories as possible, from, the original guy that is on the beach strumming the guitar to, Jeff Voorhees, who played Alex Kintner, who dies in the movie. He's putting on some tours. We're trying to source as many people as possible. And it's interesting, as we've been doing this, people have been coming kind of out of nowhere and just so excited to share their stories. So that's been really fun.
Is it fair to say the museum's exhibit will also include real-life marine biology and preservation created in partnership with the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy?
Absolutely. The museum has done an absolutely excellent job to not only have programming from June 19th to the 23rd, but really they will have the exhibit open all summer. And they are very much, taking this from all different angles, and conservancy is very, very important. And so they will be working with various organizations to kind of collectively talk about shark conservation.
And let's talk about some of the celebrities and special guests coming to Martha's Vineyard for the celebration. Who are some that we should mention?
I would definitely say that Deputy Hedricks, Jeffrey Kramer will be on island. Joe Alves will be on island. Gary Springer, who was in Jaws 2, will be here. And I mean, the list goes on and on. We will hopefully be putting something up on our splash page to kind of get people excited about all of the different people. We have definitely invited 2 of the children of Quint. So we're excited about that, and we really hope that they come. But more and more people have been reaching out. So I think that there will be a pretty nice group of people that are coming. Obviously, at 50 years, and when this was filmed in 1975, unfortunately, a lot of original cast members have passed. But we're definitely celebrating with all of the people that contributed to the movie as much as possible.
I've got to tell you, this reminds me of Hawaii Five-0 when they were first considering the original series. Some of the hoteliers in particular, objected to Hawaii Five-0. They said, "You're going to show crime in Hawaii? No one's going to come." What actually happened, because of all the beauty they showed and all the topography and nature and everything, it increased tourism right away by 25%. So It did work out, and I'm sure it will for Martha's Vineyard as well.
That's good. I hope so. Being at the chamber, that's a big part of what we do, is trying to get people to come here.
Oh, I know. And there is a list of special events that includes a meet and greet with cast and crew at the Wharf Pub, panel of Jaws historians, including Mike Smith and Ryan Dacko at Edgerton Books. And I didn't know there was such a thing as a Jaws historian Are there lots of them on Martha's Vineyard? I bet there are.
I think there are. I think I don't know if it's official, but people definitely are, sort of movie obsessed. And I think that a lot of the museums, not only just the Martha's Vineyard Museum, but the Carnegie does a great tour. There's tons of tour operators and people around town that would be very, very happy if you came and booked a tour and learned more about the movie while you were here this summer.
Where can viewers see a description of Jaws 50 events and times? That's kind of repetitious.
Well, I'll say it again because I love a good sale. So I'm going to give my shameless plug to come to mvy.com. There's a Jaws 50th anniversary tab right on the navigation bar. Just click that and you're going to have all of your information, all the ways that you can buy tickets, which is super exciting.
For visitors who want to retrace every scene from the movie, we hear SetJetters is a free film tourism app that will reveal scenes from the beach, the town, harbor, and other spots to remember. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, we're really excited about this. We are working with them exclusively that weekend to really drive tourism, but also be able to recreate scenes. So Martha's Vineyard is a place that hasn't changed all that much in the last 50 years. So if you're walking down Main Street and you take a photo, you can actually capture the then and now and put yourself into that photo. So it really perfectly aligns with the movie and people who are, film buffs and really, excited to be here. There's also ways to collect badges. So whether you're at the beach, you're at the harbor, or you're going to where Quint's shack, was recreated, there's something to make you part of that Martha's Vineyard personal film set of Jaws.
While the app might work well for people who want to plan their own itineraries, aren't there also guided tours that let visitors leave the driving to them? MV Tours, for example?
Absolutely. There are a ton of tour companies. There's a few on our website that are listed, like Homegrown Tours and Experience MV Tours. But there's also a whole directory on mvy.com that you can type in tours, and you can find all of the different opportunities to be a part of them.
Okay, we're joying about Jaws 50 with Erica Ashton of Martha's Vineyard. Erica, please tell us about Homegrown Tours, which has created the ultimate Jawsome Jaws tour from the beaches to the docks. I love that name.
Yeah, it's very fun. So Homegrown Tours has this iconic tour that they do every year, and it's about Martha's Vineyard in Amity. And there's opportunities for exclusive film visit sites. So you can go to the very spots that had all of the thrilling scenes from the movie. So if you know what those are, or you don't, you just want to find out where they were filmed, it's a great opportunity. They have a special guest leader, which I'd mentioned before was Jeffrey Voorhees, and he was Alex Kittner. He's the second victim of Bruce in the movie, and he is personally leading a lot of these tours. So obviously he was in it. He knows it probably better than anybody. So there's a lot of behind the scenes insights and really ways to be a part of a comfortable shuttle that takes you all around the island. And just, it's really a cultural experience because, this movie is really woven into the fabric of our beautiful island.
When I was a kid, I used to love to chew on those round gumballs called Jawbreakers. You can have Jaws breakers for this weekend.
I think that's a great idea. I actually love that candy as well.
Jeffrey Kramer, who played the lovable deputy sheriff in the film, will also be part of your festivities, as well as author Dennis Prince, co-author of Adventures in Film Design with Joe Alves. Where can people find them?
They're going to be all over the island. It's almost where can you not spot them? They will be at the Wharf Pub event throughout the weekend. They will also be, I believe, at Eggertown Bookstore, the museum, and hopefully at both our Friday night and Saturday evening events, which are at the Jaws After Party and the Winnetou Oceanside Resort Party.
And viewers, speaking of dates, mark down June 22nd, which is Reunion Day, a day-long celebration that includes memorabilia, stories, and meet and greet with residents who were Jaws extras. Do participants get any Jaws swag that day, Erica?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming they are going to get some. I know that the Gazette is part of that, the Vineyard Gazette, which is a newspaper here. And I do believe that there is a commemorative anniversary magazine with really rarely seen photos. And I think that's going to be really cool. I'm sure that there'll be some swag.
This is Travel Itch with Dan Schlossberg. Roger Noriega is not with us tonight. We're in our 14th season, approaching our 600th episode, which we will mark with an hour-long special on June 19th. We're live at 5 New York time every Thursday on LinkedIn, YouTube, WhatsApp, X, Twitter, and Facebook, among others. Fans who flock to Martha's Vineyard for the festival could qualify as fanatics, and historian Bo Van Riper,
Yep.
We'll use clips and stills to reveal what makes Jaws a masterpiece. In Jaws Deep Dive, a Fanatics look at a classic film. When and where?
The Fanatics, that one's stumping me. This is for the
Bo Van Riper.
Fanatics.
Probably somewhere on your website. You have so many things listed.
Yeah, there's so many things. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that is on June 20th. That's at the museum. That is a look at the classic film. And it's going to be film clips and really diving into that film's, enduring brilliance.
And you and I are both dog lovers, Erica, obviously.
Yes.
And we won't be overlooked during the Jaws Festival. There's a Jaws-inspired dog costume meetup at 6:30, June 21st at the Edgartown Lighthouse, one of 5 on the island. I love lighthouses.
Absolutely.
Is this going to be the Martha's Vineyard version of baseball's Bark in the Park?
It sure is. It's an opportunity to come out and dress your pup up at any of your favorite Jaws characters and enjoy a sunset celebration. And that's hosted by Alfresco Tales. They're a great company.
We're joining about Jaws with Erica Ashton of Martha's Vineyard. Erica, by now viewers might wonder about the island's name since it has no vineyards except for a few grapevines. Please share.
Martha's Vineyard definitely does not have any vineyards. It's actually named after a ship captain's daughter, Martha.
Okay. Is it true that Martha's Vineyard has 124.6 miles of shoreline, but only 6 small towns and no chain hotels or restaurants with neon signs because local ordinances prevent them?
Absolutely. I think that's the charm of the island and why so many people want to come here. There is no McDonald's here. We do not have our own Starbucks location, and everything is really locally sourced and very boutique, which makes the island really special.
A playground for the rich and famous during summer season. Martha's Vineyard has 23,000 year-round residents, but about 10 times that during the summer. Weren't many of them extras in Jaws?
Many of them were extras in Jaws. You can kind of just pull up a seat at the Wharf Pub and you'll find someone right away. Everyone kind of has a story that, again, contributes to the tapestry of the historical significance of the 50th anniversary.
Celebrities and presidents love the place. Clinton and Obama have visited multiple times, and visitors love the galleries, music, theater, dance performances, and farmers markets. Is it fair to say its laid-back atmosphere makes Martha's Vineyard a great place for entrepreneurs?
I definitely think so. And the Obamas were very lucky to say live on the island for part of the year. So they loved it so much when they would visit that they own property here, which is really cool. But I think in general, like what makes the island so special is, it is laid back. The only way that you can get here is if you fly or take the ferry. There are no bridges to the mainland. So once you're here, you really kind of settle in and you can just feel that there's, sort of a pixie dust or a magic, but whether you're strolling the beaches or you're out on the clay cliffs, it's just a really, really beautiful place. And it is very laid back and it's very family friendly. And if you are a celebrity, for the most part, I think people really kind of leave you to it, kind of leave you alone. You're not getting the main paparazzi as you would probably on the mainland.
I'm sure that's true. On a very photogenic island, we hear the best places to bring a camera are South Beach, Akina Cliffs, the Edgartown Lighthouse, the ferry terminal, and even the Menum Fish Market. And riding a bike in Oak Bluffs is also a good investment of vacation time. Anything to add here?
I would definitely say that we're made up of 6 towns or something for everyone. The VTA is free. That's our Vineyard Transit Authority. So it's a really great opportunity to kind of hop on, hop off, explore everything from the farmers markets to the rolling hillsides up island with these beautiful, beautiful stone walls. Definitely capturing a sunset at Menemsha Beach and getting a lobster roll while you're at it is a really great way to spend your time here.
We're jawing about Jaws 50 with Erica Ashton of Martha's Vineyard. Please tell us about the mansions in Martha's Vineyard. I always think about the mansions in Newport, but tell us about the mansions in Martha's Vineyard, the Whaling Captain's Homes, and the Carnegie Museum in Edgartown, and the tribal legacy found at Akina Cultural Center.
Yeah, I think that there's just so much, like I was saying, so much magic, so many things on the island. You're mentioning the Carnegie. That's really the Heritage Center in Edgartown. It's Sissy Biggers, who works there, always says it's the de facto information center for Edgartown. They are hosting their own event with retired Edgartown harbor master Charlie Blair, who he was there during the filming and really advised the filmmakers on the tides and the ocean conditions. So, we do have a lot of beautiful homes. They're not all mansions, but there are a lot of beautiful places in Edgartown. Specifically, they call it Edgartown Village, and it's absolutely spectacular. And there's tons of beautiful homes. They're all sort of in regulation to make sure that, they all kind of maintain a certain aesthetic, but it really makes for a beautiful walking of all of downtown. And then if you're up in the cultural center, in Aquinnah, it's something not to miss, to really look at the heritage of the Wampanoag Indians that have been here for a very long time. And the beauty of the cliffs are something that's just magical that you couldn't see anywhere else.
Got to ask you about Chappaquiddick. Obviously made headlines when Ted Kennedy had his accident there a long time ago. Do people go there on vacation? What's the story?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to get there. You just kind of take this something called the on-time ferry that runs back and forth. You take your car over, or you can take your bike, or you can just ride to walk around. But it doesn't have a lot of stores and restaurants there. So mostly people come back to Edgartown and then take off from there and figure out where they're going for dinner, et cetera, if they're not having their own, beautiful backyard barbecue or sitting on the water. But it's beautiful. And there's gardens. The My Toy Gardens are over there. And so that's a really great spot to check out if you're wanting to go over to Chappie.
And before we go, I have to find out something about the Jaws Bridge. What's the relationship to the movie?
Yeah, the Jaws Bridge is this iconic scene in the movie where the shark is swimming into the pond, and it's one of those white knuckle moments where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You're trying to cover your eyes. And the bridge itself has become an iconic part of the movie. And although there are signs everywhere that says no jumping, and it's definitely illegal to do it, it kind of has become a rite of passage for a lot of kids and families and people who visit to jump off. As a Chamber of Commerce, I can't recommend doing that, but do as you will.
I remember going to Universal Theme Park in Florida and going to a Jaws exhibit there, which was like an action exhibit. Have you ever been there?
I have not been to the one in Universal in Florida, but when I was about 10 years old, I did go to Universal in California, and I was able to see one of the mechanical sharks. And recently I was invited very graciously by the Academy Museum out in California. Mm-hmm. And my husband and I were able to tour where they're going to have this amazing exhibit this fall celebrating Jaws. But I got to meet Bruce, who hangs there, and Greg Nicotero, who we've become close now that he's coming for the weekend. He actually created that shark. So that's kind of a nice tie-in as well.
Jaws 50 actually began some weeks ago, right?
Jaws 50th, the actual day of the release is June 20th, but the filming was all in 1974. So it was filmed in 1974, and it came out on June 20th, 1975, which is the exact 50-year anniversary mark.
And this is the 100th anniversary of the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce.
It is 100 years. We're really excited about that. We created a new logo, and we've been really working with our amazing business community and bringing people together to do what we do best, which is basically supporting businesses so that we have a really strong economy here on the island.
Okay, there's an obvious question here for people that are considering coming to the Jaws 50 celebration. there going to be enough rooms for everybody?
I would definitely say book your room now. Hotels are definitely booking up. It has been very, very busy. There are opportunities if you want to come and stay for a week. There's a lot of rental properties available if you wanted to stay for a longer visit, which we absolutely encourage. But definitely book your rooms now because there is limited inventory and we would love to see you here on Island. And definitely get your tickets because those tickets are going to be selling out across all of our events very quickly.
And I know June is the big month, but what's going on in the summer, July, August?
In general on the island or for Jaws specifically?
Both.
So for Jaws specifically, there is programming through the museum, and that's really great. They're going to be starting in May, and that runs through, I believe, September. And then also we have a calendar of events that you can come see at any time on our site. But I would say specifically in July, we have on the 4th of July, we do a huge parade in Edgartown and we have fireworks. There's tons of street festivals and fairs. We have a Generations Picnic that we do every year with the Vineyard Preservation Trust. There's also Legacy Week on the Vineyard. That's July 27th. And then looking ahead to August, there is really so many fun things. We have the Martha's Vineyard Black Book Festival. We have the Toast, which is new this year with the Vineyard Preservation Trust. We have a Chilmark Road Race. There's a lot of writers that come here in the summer. So we have a whole week where Islanders write. And then something that's so popular here is our Illumination Night in Oak Bluffs, along with our agricultural fair. That's 8/21 to 8/24. And then the Oak Bluffs does an incredible fireworks festivity on 8/22. So there's really something for everyone all summer, but I would definitely say to check out our events calendar that is on our website because it's chock full of tons of great opportunities for visitors.
And I know July 4th is a big celebration always in Massachusetts, the Bay State.
Absolutely. I think what's really beautiful about our parade specifically is that it's just very, very local. And so people put together these fantastic floats. We're going to be in the parade this year with The Shark is Broken, which is a play that is coming here for the summer, and that debuts on July 5th. So July 4th will be perfect to kind of get people really excited. And I've heard that we might be towing an 8-foot shark. So more to come there.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Erica?
I just think, why wait? Book your trip today. There's come to our website. There's everything from where to stay, shop, eat. There's blogs, and there's just so many great things to do here. We want people to come visit. We're a very welcoming community, so we really hope that you book a trip soon.
One last comment from me. I just saw a movie on Netflix about a bookstore looked like Martha's Vineyard, or could have been Nantucket. Very charming movie about the bookstore owner, and he meets the rep from the publisher, and they fall in love. It's a very charming movie. The scenery is fantastic. Probably sell 1 million tickets to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, I hope so.
It was really Netflix. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was something about, it was the bookstore owner. He was Indian extraction.
Interesting. I don't know that one, but I'm so busy planning Jaws. I haven't been watching too much TV lately.
I can understand that. Okay, thank you, and good luck with your celebration. Our guest today has been Erica Ashton, Executive Director of the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for visiting with us on Travel Itch.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, and viewers, since baseball season is in full swing, this is the perfect time to share the excitement with my latest baseball biography, Home Run King, The Remarkable Record of Hank Aaron, featuring a foreword of Dusty Baker. This 265-page hardcover explores Aaron's contributions as a home run hitter on and off the field, as an athlete and as an advocate for civil rights. That's Home Run King, The Remarkable Record of Hank Aaron. Get it today on Amazon.com. That's it for this edition of Travel Itch. This is your host and writer, Dan Schlossberg. Roger Noriega will come back next week. We say thank you for your time this time. Until next time. Next week, our guest will be Sally Andrews of CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association. And you can probably cruise to Martha's Vineyard. That's another story. Hope to see you next week. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Good evening and stay safe.